All right, I will call the, now that it's 5:45, the meeting of the Old Colony Planning Council Finance Committee to order. Mary, there we go. Thank you so much. This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Microphones or telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon request. If you'd like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833. The notice of non-discrimination rights and protections to beneficiaries with regard to Title VI non-discrimination protections and the state non-discrimination protections is posted in this meeting room and is available on the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833 for more information. Thank you, Mary. Can we jump into a roll call?
I can, but I want to say the person who is running that through is Megan, who's our Vanna and moving our agenda along, but roll call, Christine Joy, treasurer.
Present.
Noreen O'Toole. Frank Staffier.
Present.
Val Massard.
Present.
And Sandra Wright.
Present.
And just for staff, Charlie Kilmer, we have Megan Fortier, and then we have Brenda Robeson.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Megan, for keeping things moving along here. All right, so we're now on to the minutes from our January meeting. Those were all sent out in the packet. Any questions or concerns on the minutes?
Seeing none, Madam Chairperson, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes.
I'll second that.
All right, so motion Frank, second Noreen to accept the minutes as printed. Mary, can you do a roll call vote?
Yes, Christine Joy.
Accept.
Noreen O'Toole.
Accept.
Frank Staffier.
Accept.
Valerie Massard.
Accept.
And Sandra Wright.
Accept.
That is unanimous.
Thank you very much. All right, Brenda, how about presentation on the January financials?
Okay. At the end of January, we were in good financial standing, showing a 5.7% budget surplus. Statement of expenditures report shows total expenses for the month at $206,054.41. The cash position report shows income for the month at $581,483.31. Disbursements for the month were $551,212.81. The total cash available at month's end was $1,936,448.68. The OPEB account had a gain of $12,616.85, bringing the ending balance in the OPEB account to $1,089,483.04. The budget resources report, cash receipts being $581,483.31 brings the total year-to-date receipts to $3,014,982.11. The AAA report, outstanding balance for AAA pass-through programs was $224,238.20. The outstanding balance for AAA admin and ombudsman programs was $188,770.65. This brings the total outstanding balance for all AAA programs to $413,008.85. The voluntary transportation account beginning balance was $166,983.32. Restricted fund payments to volunteers were a total of $814.94. Donations received were a total of $309.42, bringing the ending balance in the fund to $166,477.80. ROM statement and activity. Balance at the beginning of the month was $173,823.15. Receipts were $8,350, bringing the total receipts to $58,450. Expenses were $11,459.23, bringing the total expenses to $68,239.83. Budget reports. The spent to date percentage rate at the end of January was 53.30. The ideal percentage in the 7th month of the fiscal year would be 58.37. So at month's end, we had a 5.7% surplus. Page 1, expenditures at the end of the month were a total of $1,539,483. Budgeted funds remaining at the end of the month were a total of $1,348,906. Does anyone have any questions on page 1?
No.
Okay.
No.
Page 2, projected grant income at the end of the month was $2,888,839. Any questions on page 2?
No.
No.
Okay, page 3, no changes on page 3. The projected pass-through income remains at $1,719,329. Next up is the list of the combined accounts payable and cash transfers for January. And we have one new page this month added. For those of you who may be interested in a basic summary of revenues received by OCPC, this is a financial highlights chart showing revenue sources. The financial highlights chart is completed each year after the annual audit are included in our annual report. This shows the income received in FY23, which was derived from a variety of sources. Approximately 91% of the funds were from state, federal, and local grants, contracts, and programs. 6% were from annual member assessments, and the remaining 3% was from various miscellaneous sources such as bank interest, rent, and management fees. And that is all for the financial report.
Thank you, Brenda.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Brenda on the January financial report?
Nope.
No questions.
How about a motion to accept the report?
Motion so moved.
Seconded.
Okay, motion Sandy, second Frank. Mary, can you do a roll call vote for acceptance of the January 2024 financials?
Yes, Christine Joy,
Accept.
Maureen O'Toole,
Accept.
Frank Staffier,
Accept.
Val Massart,
Accept.
and Sandra Wright.
Accept.
That is unanimous.
Thank you, Mary. All right, Brenda, you're on deck for the next item as well, the fiscal policy status update.
Okay, I believe Megan sent out the
Hmm.
fiscal policies that have all the corrections in. Nothing has changed since we last met. So this is, getting close to the final draft. I don't know how detailed we want to go through this.
Brenda, if I could, and Madam Treasurer, if I could, so as for those that may not have been able to participate, but there had been a couple working groups that members had volunteered. That working group continually to cultivate had, really good discussions. John Costa, as well as some others were part of that, and really kind of taking line by line by line as Christine was able to go through the various pages, and we did a hard stop throughout the process. It came back to staff to work on some suggested language, brought it back to the working group, and then continue to work forward on what you see today. So we have had, this has been an effort starting with Doug Silvestri, and of course, Brenda working probably about a year and a half ago already, but it's finally in a process where we have these documents. And I think that as we go forward, we'll be doing some testing of these protocols and these policies as we go through and continue to cultivate along the way. So just again, to the members that participate in a working group, as well as the staff, Megan and Charlie and Brenda and Sean Noel, we're all just terrific and grinding through and continuing to refine this. So this is what you have, and that's what was sent last week to you all.
Mary, Christine, if I could,
Go right ahead, Sandy.
I'm sorry I missed the meetings, but I listened to the videos and I just want to say that, there was so much great input there. And you guys did a lot of very, very good work in clarifying a lot of things that I had questions about, but you had, cleaned them up and made it so much better. So kudos to all of you. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, Madam Treasurer, I know that if, this is an action item,
Okay.
to go to the full council.
Mary, I had a couple things that I had questions on. One seemed to be just a little typo in the monthly closeout. And then there was something else I had a question on, and I did screen snippets of everything. And now, of course, I can't find them.
We can take the time to do that. Megan, can you just pull it up again, please, the policy? Thank you.
Why don't, instead of holding things up here, maybe we can accept the financial policies subject to maybe minor,
Scribers.
yes, minor like typographical corrections. But yeah, I mean, these have been viewed and reviewed multiple times by many people who know a lot more about this than I do. So I feel comfortable with where we are now. I think we've got a good product that that we can take to the full council for their approval as well. So are you looking for a motion from a member of this committee to approve these?
Yes.
All right, well, how about I'll make that motion that we approve the financials, but there may be some minor typographical errors that are corrected before the final goes to the full council tomorrow.
I'll second that, Madam Chairperson.
Mary, can you do roll call vote for acceptance of the fiscal policies?
I will. Treasurer Christine Joy,
Accept.
Noreen O'Toole,
Accept.
Frank Staffier,
Accept.
Valerie Massard,
Accept.
Sandra Wright,
Accept.
Rhonda Nyman,
Accept.
and Yolanda, Spinola. Yolanda,
I'm gonna abstain just because I'm just joining.
thank you. And Rhonda, I'm sorry, did you? I wasn't sure if you voted.
I said accept,
Yeah,
Mary.
perfect,
Thank you.
thank you, sorry. So that is all but one abstention. It's voted favorable.
Excellent. Thank you all very much.
For the full
All right,
council.
so-
And Christine, maybe if I could, sorry, if there is, I don't know what you have available for time, but even maybe tomorrow, if there's between now and council meeting, if we can kind of get those in place, that would be one less, I mean,
I will locate those and email them over to you and Megan for you to take a look at. It was minor stuff. I think there was an extra "and" that I found. It was just for the most part little things. So I will get those over to you guys tonight.
great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mary, we are on to the OPEB trust update.
We are, and there's actually a couple things that a number 7 and actually there isn't a number 8 in here, but the OPEB trust, we are moving forward. We have had one council member who have shown interest in serving on the OPEB trust. We are in the process of working with we've polled our employees to see. There's been, I think, 5 people have shown interest in serving as employee delegate or designated person, and we've reached out to our retirement folks as well, and we've had one person respond. So our goal is not for today and not for tomorrow's meeting, but for the March meeting, we should have a full slate, as well as members for the president's appointment to go forward, so we can really start making the OPEB trust committee in play. So that is the status of the OPEB trust.
Thank you, Mary. That is a great update that
It
we
is
are
a great
making
update.
progress.
What is not on here, and that is my scribber's error here, but I did also want to give an update about the retirement legislation.
Mhm.
And we had some great news on Friday. I say we, Charlie and I, the Mass Association of Regional Planning Agencies. Remember, we went through that and you all gave me the authority to go up to 1%. Well, the good news is, is that there is a legislative process called Joint Rule 10. And that is a process where dictates a committee must report out on all bills before a certain date. So the good news is that there was a reporting out of the committee, I believe it's on public service, reporting out to pass the Mass Association of Regional Planning Agencies retirement legislation. That means that doesn't hold us that holds us harmless going forward or backwards, and that we would be considered as part of no percentage rate or anything. The other good news is that the treasurer's version of the state retirement legislation had not yet been posted, had not been reported out. And so while it is all great news, like this negotiation and things of that nature was kind of on our schedule, we have the discussion at the Mass Association of Regional Planning Agency was that, well, there may be an opportunity, so that will move forward, but to heighten hedge our bets, I think is the word, is that there's discussion about finding some pieces of legislation to in fact have our legislation be implanted in it. So there's some good work that's being done by the Tremont Strategies, who is the legislative consultant, if you will, who has been helping the regional planning agency with this process. But the good news is that this is the farthest that we've seen this legislation be moved in a positive sense, and it is good news financially for our organization if in fact it comes to fruition. So that's an update. We should still always keep the retirement legislation on this agenda as well as our council agenda, so we can be, just because it should never fall off until it's actually gets into law.
Well, thank you, Mary, for that great news, and hopefully we get this resolved relatively soon as well, because this is another long-standing, outstanding item. So
It
beautiful.
is. And I think I covered everything, Charlie. Charlie was on the meeting with me, and as Charlie had said to me, well, what year was it that you and Pat Shumilla suggested the very same thing back in 2014?
Yeah, 2014-ish. So, but
Hmm.
no, that was an excellent report, Mary, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. So
Yeah,
that was great news on Friday.
It is. It is.
Very nice way to finish the meeting with a nice bit of news like that that really is so impactful. Well, thank you all so much for joining. We've got a full meeting tomorrow. Our next council meeting is March 26th. And kudos to Megan and Elise, everything that they set out with the schedule for the whole year, with the same Zoom meeting login creds for all the meetings. Outstanding. Really well done. Thank you so much. You guys, yes, yay, have done an
Yay.
amazing job, and are certainly making it easy for us, and really hitting that transparency goal hard with all the information that you're providing. So thank you guys very much.
And Madam Treasurer, just before the adjournment, for the next March meeting, we should have a preliminary budget for you. We're working with our managers. We're doing capital and IT request. So we should have a preliminary budget for, again, very preliminary review, but it will be starting in March. We'll be having that for this committee.
Great. Thank you, Mary.
Great.
Thank you for that. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Motion, Frank. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good night,
Aye.
everybody. We'll
Good
see you
night.
tomorrow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good
everybody.
night. Thank you,
Thank
you.
everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Mary.
Good night.
Good night.